automatically I started thinking about, like, it's kind of interesting that they think they're being viewed as lab rats, yet we're making ghosts and spirits of human beings who used to be alive turn on flashlights and walk in front of REM pods and use phone apps. Isn't that like treating them like they're lab rats? Maniacs, welcome back to the channel. Oh my gosh, we're talking about it again. I know a lot of you guys are probably like, shut this man up. The reality is, guys, this is a big conversation in the world of the paranormal. In the paranormal community, this is a big deal. Sam and Colby, of course, helped make it a big deal by saying it was going to change the views of the paranormal. It was going to change everybody's mindset. It was going to prove to you that the paranormal exists, that the afterlife exists. It's going to question everything. So yeah, when people say that, you're making a lot of content about this and you take it way too seriously, yeah, I do take it way too seriously. I'm passionate about this subject. Regardless, if you're not, that's fine. If you don't want to watch this, I understand. I'm not going to hold it against you. Trust me. Bottom of my heart, I want you to know, if we're in the same room, I'm not going to hold it against you for not listening to me and talking about this podcast that I watched last night. And weirdly enough, I went back over there to actually show clips from the podcast because I was going to talk about it along with them and give my thoughts out. So I just kind of have to go by memory right now and just talk about what I did hear and what I did see. Unfortunately, the podcast was removed. The video was removed in itself. I can't find it no more. The interview they did with Satori and Cody is just gone. So you'll either have to just take my word for it or just, try to find some way to find this thing and watch it that way. But I don't know if you're going to be able to. Last night, Satori and Cody went live on the Dead Air podcast channel, and I watched the scenes with Satori and Cody, and I wanted to hear them out, see what they had to say. Unfortunately, they just kind of stuck to their guns and are avoiding some of the questions that you would love to see answered by them, and it is what it is. I'm not going to hold it against them anymore. I'm not going to give them shit for it. It is what it is. The interviewers, of course, knew them in real life. They know them in real life, so there was a little bit of a biasness when it comes to talking with Satori and Cody. Obviously, they're not going to be douchebags to them. They're not going to ask some harsh questions. They're not going to, ask them, hey, guys, can we just put this to bed? Just take your socks and shoes off and show us what we want to see. Nothing like that. So I wasn't expecting them to do that anyways, but I did want to watch this podcast to see if maybe they would have taken the risks and whatnot, because they are paranormal investigators. And, at the end of the day, I was kind of hoping that they would go the extra mile and see, try to answer some of the questions that a lot of people had, but that just didn't happen. There's some moments in the show that I just did not appreciate as somebody who is a believer and has tried to keep everything at an even level. Like, we try to listen to both sides of things. And I just felt like it was very, again, one-sided. And I know they kept repeating that wasn't their intentions to make it one-sided, but unfortunately, that's just how it felt, was one-sided. Now, obviously, I think they are more, when they talk negatively or when they talk a little bit more harshly against the debunking community, I really think they're going after the people who are sending Satori and Cody death threats, which, again, I completely understand. I don't know why people are sending them death threats. I don't know why people are being as cruel as they are to Satori and Cody. They are people at the end of the day. And please don't send them death threats and don't send them the most disgusting of comments. It's not required. It's not necessary. And it's just plain out cruel and evil. There are moments in the episode, though, where I remember one of them making fun of overanalyzing. And they're talking about the debunking community at this point and, how some of these guys put out these videos trying to, overanalyze. But at the end of the day, isn't that the point of overanalyzing? Trying to look at everything, sniff through the debris, try to find real answers. Overanalyzing is very important to the paranormal community. But if a debunker does it, then it's bullying or it's just wrong. That argument falls on itself. It collapses because it makes no sense to me. Why we're making fun of debunkers for overanalyzing, but that's what paranormal investigators do, is overanalyze, and rightfully so. We have to overanalyze things to really find the true answers. So when you're making fun of people who are overanalyzing and laughing about it, it rubbed me the wrong way, and I couldn't get behind that. I don't know why they removed the video. I was going to go back and actually, show the moments when these things were happening, but I have to go by memory at this point. So I could even be getting some things wrong, and I'm not trying to, but I have no actual video to go back to and tell you guys what happened. I really was hoping that we were going to get more answers, but they're avoiding the questions. They don't want to be viewed as lab rats. They don't want to be people's game. They don't want people to use them as a joke and whatnot, even knowing that's not what was going to happen. I just think that's a really sad attempt to kind of answer the questions that everybody wants to know And you would think that these paranormal investigators would actually be trying to push for these kind of things to be answered logically and as professionally as possible. Not trying to, view them as lab rats, which when you really think about it, wouldn't you say that spirits on the other side, wouldn't that be kind of like treating them like lab rats when we're using all this equipment to try to make them do silly things like turning on flashlights and stuff? Wouldn't that be treating them like lab rats? It's okay to do it to people who are deceased, but for people who are alive, it's the complete opposite. I don't know, man. I was thinking about that a lot last night. Automatically, I started thinking about, it's kind of interesting that they think they're being viewed as lab rats, yet we're making ghosts and spirits of human beings who used to be alive turn on flashlights and walk in front of REM pods and use phone apps. Isn't that like treating them like they're lab rats? I don't know, it just felt hypocritical. It felt hypocritical because wouldn't you want to prove the paranormal's existence? Wouldn't you want to further and strengthen people's beliefs by doing whatever you can to help as soon as possible and not try to push this stuff back for years to come? Who knows how long it's going to be until they actually want to sit down and do something like this. And at the end of the day, they did say that they did take off their shoes during one of Sam and Colby's segments. But unfortunately, that footage was not shown to us. At least it wasn't shown to me. I don't recall them taking their shoes off in the video. People comment on my videos all the time. They took their shoes off. You see their socks. But I think people are really just wanting to see their bare feet. I know that's weird. No, I don't have a foot fetish. Before you even comment, I know that's a classic comment that's being thrown at people right now. You have a foot fetish. You're weird. Stop trying to see their feet. Stop being a 5-year-old. Are you serious? I have a foot fetish because I want to see proof? Legitimately, and as respectfully as I can, grow the actual F up. I can't believe you're using that as an argument. I can't believe you're literally going after people because of just wanting more proof. And there's a lot of respectful people out there asking these questions, by the way. They're not just coming at them like animals. There's a lot of people who are actually saying, hey, can you please do this? I really want to believe you guys, but I can't do it. But they get thrown into the category of just being a hater. And it's sad. It sucks. As a believer and as someone who wants to go and be a part of paranormal investigating, it's sad that we can't just have somebody who's saying that they're telling the truth sit down and try to prove themselves to be absolute 100%. Even Sam and Colby asked them if you guys can do this. And they just said, maybe at a later date. You realize that that makes you look like you're trying to postpone, right? So you can figure out ways to make it look more believable. That's what it looks like. I'm sorry. That is what it looks like. Regardless of what you think of everybody coming at you, that is what it looks like. Respectfully, again, I want to make sure you know that. I'm trying to be as respectful to you guys as I possibly can. Unfortunately, it felt very biased. The comments that were coming up were all positive. And whether that was because just whoever is subscribed to this guy's channel is all on Satori and Cody's side of things or not, I would have loved to have seen more people hop on in there asking questions to them. I would have loved to have seen it. Because then I wouldn't have felt like it was only one-sided the entire time. All the comments that were being pulled up on screen, I don't know if it was Ken or John or whoever had access to it, bringing up only positive comments. I don't know if it was like he picked and chose each comment. But all the comments were all positive, saying ignore the haters. Man, there were some comments on there I really wish I wrote down because I couldn't believe some of the things people were saying. And that's so sad because it's like we're trying to make it where everybody's trying to be respectful. But you're not even, and you're saying that you're not one-sided. But when you're not even trying to fix the issue of even believers being toxic as hell. I mean, I had some people coming over to my channel, man, and leaving comments saying that they tried to speak up, but they felt like they were being just completely outed. Like, shame on them for even asking the simplest of questions. Automatically, the audience started attacking them, saying they had a foot fetish. Yeah, hey, can you guys please do this and, take your socks and shoes off? You have a foot fetish, weirdo, and LOL, laughing my ass off. Do you not think that's toxic? Do you not think that is pretty fucked up? Who cares if they believe or not? It's fucked up. It sucks, man. And they came over to my channel and said that because I'm trying to be somebody who sees both sides of things. I can absolutely see the side where people are wanting to believe in Satori and Cody. Make no mistake in it. I was one of those people too in the beginning. 100%. I wasn't questioning anything. And then the video started coming out. And then some of the things that Cody said did not make sense with his past. And then I started questioning things, watching some debunking videos, which I'm allowed to do, by the way. If you're somebody who's afraid to speak up, you're welcome on this community. And I cannot stress this enough. Everybody, believer or non-believer, if you come into my channel to have fun, to have your opinions heard and to feel like you're not being judged, come to this channel and feel like you can say whatever you want. I encourage the hell out of it. I want everybody to feel like they can say whatever they want without being overly judged. And if you want to have a conversation about it, which is the point, you have constructive conversations about it, that should be allowed here. I'm not going to make a big deal about it anymore. So whether you're 100% or not, stick around. Maybe something new will come out. We'll talk about it then. But guys, until next time, keep it retro. Do take care.